Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're digging into a single source, a really personal, detailed blog post about visiting a particular winery somewhere in the Rhône Valley in France.
That's right. And it's, not just any random place. It's Le Caveau du Château.
Yeah.
It's got this direct connection to Maison y Guigal, which is a pretty big name, right there on the Rhône River.
Okay, so our mission today isn't just like a book report on this visit. We want to really get into this personal story, figure out what made it so good, so satisfying for this person.
Yeah. What are the key things, the elements that really make for a, genuinely top-notch wine experience? We're using this one account as our sort of case study.
And the backstory is interesting, too. The source says it wasn't some, long-planned, detailed trip.
No, it sounds more spontaneous. They basically wanted excellent wine. That was key. But, and this is important, they wanted to skip the big crowds. The usual tourist traps.
Looking for something more authentic, maybe. A relaxed afternoon.
Exactly.
Okay, so let's start right there. Spontaneity leads them to this place. What was the very first impression? Walking in.
The source uses this phrase, a peaceful bubble. That's what it felt like stepping inside.
Peaceful bubble. I like that.
Yeah. And they noticed a calm pace. People were sipping their wine slowly, talking quietly, looking at photos of vineyards on the walls, just appreciating it.
So the vibe, the atmosphere was immediate.
Totally. It hit this ideal balance, they said, between sophisticated and comfortable, and crucially, they felt like they belonged right away. Not stuffy, not intimidating. That's a big deal with wine sometimes, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. That can be a real barrier. And you get the sense this atmosphere wasn't just luck. The actual space, the tasting room design, sounds like it was part of it.
Yeah, definitely intentional. It was described as blending modern elegance with, traditional charm. So clean lines and natural wood, warm lighting. The way the wines were displayed was thoughtful, too.
Sounds classy, but not trying too hard.
That's exactly the phrase used. Genuinely classy without trying too hard. And here's a detail I found interesting. It was seemingly designed to encourage conversation.
How so?
Well, it wasn't loud, the acoustics, maybe the layout. It just allowed for, relaxed chat without that echoey noise you get in some places, which honestly is quite rare.
Okay, nice space, good vibe. But here's where the source really seems to put the emphasis, maybe the most critical piece. The people, the staff.
Ah, yes. Absolutely crucial, according to this account. They used phrases like infinite patience, friendly guidance, and this one really stands out. Zero wine snobbery.
Zero wine snobbery. That's the dream, isn't it?
Pretty much. They even admitted to, totally blanking on some basic wine term, and the staff just rolled with it, handled it perfectly, no judgment.
So what does that zero wine snobbery actually achieve? For the visitor, I mean.
Well, according to this blog post, it turns the whole thing into genuine wine appreciation. It makes it possible.
Right.
And they explicitly say, look, this isn't the spot for a loud bachelorette party, or just grabbing Instagram shots.
Just for actually appreciating the wine.
Exactly. The staff's patience seems to have created this safe space for learning, asking questions. That's where the real appreciation happens.
Okay, so the staff set the stage, but what about the main event? The wine itself. They did a tasting, right?
They did. They chose the Treasures of the Rhône Valley tasting. It was 53, 5 wines, and the source felt this was just a perfect introduction to what Rhône wines are all about.
Did it live up to that? Any standouts?
Oh, yeah. There were definitely some aha moments described. The Condrieu, for one, a white wine called a Revelation.
Revelation, wow. What was it like?
Get this description, like the most luscious, creamy peach in liquid form.
Okay, yum.
Right. And it takes a dessert-like, and this is key, it wasn't actually sweet.
Yeah.
It just paints such a picture you immediately get why it stuck with them.
Yeah, that makes me want to try Condrieu now. What else?
Then there was a Côte Rôtie, classic northern Rhône red, described as complex, bold flavors, but remarkably smooth.
Oh, smooth is good.
Yeah. And this was another one of those big aha moments. The visitor said, basically, French reds suddenly made perfect sense after tasting this one.
That's quite a statement. Makes you understand the appeal.
Definitely. And they also mentioned an Hermitage, another famous Rhône name. This one had earthy notes, a pleasant spiciness, and they added a little detail.
Oh, yeah.
That it paired wonderfully with the little sausage bites they provided.
Ah. They gave snacks. Nice touch.
It is, isn't it? It's small, but it adds to that feeling of a well-rounded, thoughtful experience. It's not just the wine in isolation.
That makes sense. What's also interesting, though, is they were honest that not every single wine was, life-changing.
Right. They mentioned a lighter Syrah blend they didn't even finish.
But they saw that as a positive.
Kind of, yeah. They framed it as making the experience feel more authentic. It became about discovering personal preferences, not just pretending to love everything you're served.
That feels more real. And did they feel rushed at all?
No, the opposite. They specifically highlighted the pacing, called it perfect. Enough time to actually savor each wine, think about it, without that feeling of being hurried along to the next pour, which, as you know, can happen.
Oh, definitely. So zooming out from the wines to the whole visit, the overall feeling was good value.
Yeah, great value for the quality was the phrase. The price-to-experience ratio felt surprisingly good. Every euro seemed justified.
That's always nice to hear.
And beyond the tasting itself, just the logistics. Booking online, parking, getting seated, all of it apparently felt effortless.
That effortless part is so important, isn't it? It means nothing got in the way of actually enjoying the experience.
Exactly. The whole process matters, not just the wine in the glass. It shows they've thought about the entire visitor journey.
And their specific tasting, the treasures, wasn't the only game in town, right? They mentioned other options.
Yeah, quite a range, actually, which suggests it's pretty accessible.
Like what?
Well, if you wanted something quicker or more budget-friendly, there's the collection. You could do 3 wines for 18 or 5 for 28 euro, shorter experiences.
Okay, good entry point.
Or if you wanted to go deeper on one thing, there's a focus. Côte Rôtie tasting. 5 different vintages, exploring the terroir, the soil, climate, all that stuff that makes a wine unique.
Right, getting into the nitty-gritty.
You could even do an immersion in the vineyards for 35 euro. Includes a visit out among the vines before tasting 4 wines.
Oh, cool. See where it comes from.
And then, yes, for the real enthusiast or maybe a special occasion, there's the big one. The exceptional tasting of the Lalas. 150?
The Lalas.
Yeah, Guigo's super famous, iconic, single vineyard Côte Rôtie, La Mouline, La Landon, La Turque, the La Trilogie. That's definitely aspirational territory.
Wow, okay. So they really cover the spectrum, from curious beginner to serious collector.
Pretty much. And the source kind of sums up who this place would be great for, connecting it back to you, the listener.
Yeah. Who's the ideal visitor based on this account?
Well, they list couples, obviously. Friends doing a day trip maybe from Lyon, it's nearby. Solo travelers, too, who might appreciate that welcoming vibe.
Makes sense.
Wine enthusiasts wanting to learn more, definitely. But also, significantly, first-time winery visitors. People who need to feel comfortable, not intimidated.
That's a big one.
And they specifically call it out as potentially perfect for women new to wine tasting who might feel intimidated elsewhere.
Interesting point. Why specifically women?
I think it comes back to that staff attitude, being able to explain things clearly, approachably, but without dumbing things down. It hits that sweet spot. Sophisticated enough for experts, welcoming enough for newcomers.
That sounds like the secret sauce, maybe. That balance.
It really seems like a core part of why it works so well.
And speaking of things working well, or not working well, the source threw in a very practical tip at the end, didn't they? Something about travel insurance.
Oh yeah, that was a key takeaway for them personally. Almost a hard lesson learned.
What happened?
A canceled train almost made them miss the whole thing. And the tasting was likely non-refundable.
Oof, yeah. That would sting.
It really makes you think about those little travel hiccups, doesn't it? It highlighted why having coverage for non-refundable bookings, transport delays, just unexpected chaos is pretty essential for wine tourism, especially if you're traveling internationally.
Good advice. A small cost for peace of mind, really. Protects the whole point of the trip.
Exactly.
So let's pull it all together. Looking back at this deep dive through the lens of this one person's experience, the lasting feeling seems to be of a perfect wine country experience. Is that fair?
I think so. It hit that sweet spot between learning something and just purely enjoying yourself. It felt authentically French, but not in a performative touristy way, and definitely not stuffy or pretentious.
And that staff balance, again, taking the wine seriously, but not taking themselves too seriously.
Yeah, that seemed key. It created that comfort level, made it okay to ask the dumb questions, or even practice, swirling your glass without feeling silly.
Right. So the outcome wasn't just tasting some nice wines. It was leaving with a genuinely deeper appreciation for the whole Rhône region.
That's the impression. Maybe even buying a bottle that conjures sounded like a must-buy. But more importantly, it was this feeling that the experience stays with you.
That idea of it sticking with you, that's powerful, isn't it? Suggests it wasn't just transactional.
No, it was more than that. A connection was made to the place, the people, the story in the bottle, finding something genuine, as the source put it.
Okay, so this deep dive into one visitor's trip to Le Caveau du Château really pulled out some key ingredients for a standout wine experience, didn't it? You've got the atmosphere, the design, that crucial staff element, patient, expert, no snobbery. Then the wines themselves, allowing for real discovery, those aha moments. Plus, surprising value, easy logistics, and options for different people.
Yeah, a lot of things came together just right.
And the source really hammers home that this experience wasn't just pleasant in the moment, it stayed with them, it lingered. So think about everything we've unpacked. That peaceful bubble atmosphere, the warmth and knowledge of the staff, those specific wine epiphanies like the Condro or the Côte Rôtie, maybe the snacks even, or just that overall blend of easy enjoyment and learning. What specific elements from this deep dive do you think contribute most strongly to making an experience like that truly stick with you long after you've left?